Hey everybody out there, Coach Dan Long with Get Lean in 12, and we are live bringing you the question that everyone always asks, fasted versus fed exercise. Which is better or worse to eat before you exercise to maximize fat loss? Well, I'm here to answer that question for you today. I want to thank you for being with me here today. Do me a favor, if you're watching this right now, do me a favor and go down in the comments, right? Say hi. Tell me who you are and where you're from. I love to meet all of the great people around the world. We're connecting with so many people and want to thank you for being here with me today. So, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Dan Long. I actually been in the industry for over 20 years doing fitness and nutrition, trial and error, so many things to learn through nutrition and fitness to be able to bring some of these amazing things like this here today for you. This is the biggest question, and it's one of the biggest misleading things inside the weight loss industry. Okay, now what I can tell you is my wife Nicole, she's an over 40 mother of three, uses this exact same system that I'm about to show you in conjunction with this amazing protocol that is specifically designed for the hormonal condition of people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. So do me a favor, you see this link up here? Do not click it just yet, okay? Just stay with me because I have a lot to discuss here and I want you to get these tips before you click that link, okay? Promise? All right, perfect. Now, traditional exercise versus steady state cardio, right? One of the biggest questions when it comes to what kind of exercise should I do to actually maximize fat loss? Well, I'm here to answer that right now. Now, the biggest thing is which is the better for you, right? And which is fasted, which fasted means you're gonna fast without eating anything for at least 4 to 5 hours, or fed, which means that you're actually eating before you exercise. All right, now, I have the pros and I have the cons here for both kinds. So I have fed, low intensity exercise, and I also have fasted, high intensity exercise. Let's talk about the pros and cons of each. First, fed, low intensity exercise. More energy, you're gonna get more energy out of being, obviously, food in your stomach, and your body is now consumed some protein, some fats, and some carbohydrates. So, you're gonna get more energy, there's no doubt about that. You will have a reduced risk of injury. Why? Because your body is nutrition based, and it's loving life because it does have the actual food inside the body. Second would be aerobic conditioning. One of the most important things for our body is to condition our hearts and give ourselves cardiovascular, which is aerobic conditioning exercise, and that is good for the body. Now, let's talk about the cons when it comes to fed low intensity exercise. Increased insulin intake. Now, with that being said, what ends up happening with that? That will actually harbor fat inside the body and prevent you from losing more fat because it increases insulin. Now, weight loss plateaus is a problem when it comes to low intensity fed exercise. Weight loss plateaus, it's one of the biggest things in the industry. I've had so many clients over the years say, how do I break the weight loss plateau? Well, today I have that answer for you. Next is decreased thyroid function. You do not want to decrease thyroid. The last thing you want is to be not optimizing fat loss because the thyroid is not functioning properly. This can cause that. Next would be elevated cortisol, which is the #1 fat hormone for the belly. If you elevate cortisol, guess what happens? The worst thing ever. You're going to hold on to more fat. Next is cravings and increased appetite. If you increase your appetite and you have more cravings, now you're going to eat more, which means you gain more weight, okay? Next would be more free radicals. Free radicals inside the body are horrible. The last thing you want in your body is to have more free radicals. And then, which obviously aids in other things that are bad within the body because the radicals are what harm the body. They attack the body. Next would be minimal impact on hormones. So, like leptin, I'm sure you've heard of leptin before. One of the worst things you could do is not impact the hormone to want to burn more fat. So, fed, low intensity exercise is going to give you all these cons and this many pros. Let's talk about fasted high intensity exercise. Hormones are going to be, right, pros are going to be affected to help burn more belly fat and fat all over. So why is that? Because high intensity exercise, it's one of the greatest things to get numerous things. The growth hormone to spike, right? Your growth hormone is going to spike. Your adrenaline is going to go through the roof because you're now going and putting the body into a state where it's in high intensity and it needs everything to function. So the adrenaline is going to raise in your body, which is going to aid in helping to burn more fat. Then also the insulin will go down, which is what you want to get rid of belly fat, okay? So the insulin will decrease, which then in turn hits the number one belly fat hormone called leptin, and it signals the brain to the metabolism to help prevent plateaus and burn more fat. The body is an amazing machine if you know how to use it. And that is why it also does something called EPOC, which is just a fancy word for excess post-oxygen consumption. It's the afterburn. The beautiful thing about EPOC is you get 38 to 48 hours after the exercise to burn more fat without even having to exercise. So imagine, you're inside your car and you're driving and you're burning fat, right? You're sleeping at night and you're burning fat. Those are the things that you really want, which high intensity exercise on a fasted state will do. That's a pro. Now, the cons for fasted high intensity would be increased chance of injury, right? Because you are operating at a level that's intense. And when you do intense exercise, you just have to be careful and make sure you're always paying attention, because when you are intensifying the exercise, your body will then react fast. So you have to make sure that you're paying attention to that to keep your body intact and not have any injuries. The next would be, as far as a con on here, would be adrenal fatigue. The adrenal fatigue inside the body, okay, will also fatigue just a bit, because in a fasted state, there's no insulin, you have no carbohydrates that are kicking, right? The fats aren't kicking. That is one of the cons. So, with that being said, Tabatas and burst exercising, right, which would be your high intensity exercising, will give you that 38 to 48 hour burn after you finish the exercise. So, I don't know about you, but if I'm going to exercise, steady state cardio is not the way. So if you hop on a treadmill, or if someone's out just basically doing an elliptical every single day up to like an hour, because I see people all the time doing this, it's the worst thing you can do to try to get the body to burn that excess belly fat off, okay? So again, remember, a Tabatas or a burst, a short burst could be 12 minutes. You'll get a burn for up to 38 to 48 hours, which is the afterburn, which is the bonus to high intensity exercise. And if you do it at a fasted state, you even get a more bonus, which is to burn even more fat, because now the body's, everything you saw here, the insulin, right? The plateau, the thyroid, the cortisol, the radicals, and the hormones are all going to be optimized by doing it at a fasted state at high intensity exercise. So, the answer to the question is, which is really better? Personally, in my 100% opinion and professional opinion, I can tell you fasted, high-intensity exercise is definitely the way to go. Now, the good thing is that I do have something that is specifically designed for anyone who is over the age of 35. I'm 44 years old. My wife's over 40. She has three beautiful kids. And we, the one thing that is a battle is obviously our hormones. When our hormones start to be a challenge, things happen. I don't know about you, but the last time I had a hormonal shift, which I think was at about 42 years old, I felt depressed. I felt like everything was a struggle. I felt like, the world was caving in on me, and I didn't know why, and I had to understand the reasons of these hormones. And so studying and research has shown that these high-intensity bursts, right, with fasted state, so no eating for 4 to 5 hours before you exercise, and then you exercise, you're going to optimize everything inside the body to burn more belly fat. So, With that, okay, I have a specifically designed protocol that is designed for people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s to maximize and strategically take this exact formula and combine it together to maximize the body's hormones. It is called the Over 40 Absolution. Now, it is, again, one more time, it is for people over 35, but specifically designed for people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Okay, this protocol has age-specific components. We also have inside this thing called a Lean 19 program. Inside there are tips, just like what I'm giving here, fill tons of what will help you fast track and get to where you want to go to get the body that you desire. With that being said, we also give a success tracker. Success tracker is going to take you right, for anyone who wants to just print that off, get right into this, and prevent yourself from having to read up to 100 pages of great information, which I eventually want you to do, but you can fast track and get started right away. Now also, with every single Over 40 Absolution, we donate $1 to Living Water. Get Lean in 12 has been blessed to install 4 working wells in third world countries for families and children to have running water 24/7. I don't know about you, but a lot of times until we started doing this, I was actually taking water for granted. And if you go to these countries, which we have, and you install these wells, which we have, it is one of the most eye-opening experiences. So we donate $1 towards that, and we've installed 4 already, and we're working on number 5 right now, thanks to people like you. With that, also, you get a 90-day money-back guarantee, 100%. If you don't like it, you don't lose weight, which you will, okay? We give you 100%, all the money back, absolutely 0 questions asked. So you have nothing absolutely to lose but the belly fat. So this is your time. Up here, you're going to see a link, okay? You can click or tap that link. If you do, it's going to take you to the Over 40 Absolution. You're going to see my partner and my best buddy, Sean Hatzel. He's also 47 years old, and his wife, Karen, which is 57 years old. And our wives and us, we use this program specifically that is designed for our hormonal conditions, that gives us this protocol that we want to share with you today to get the bodies that we desire. Okay, so it's your turn. Click this link right up above, all right, or tap it. I want you to please make sure down in the comments below you say hi, right? Tell us who you are, and make sure that no matter what, you keep going strong.